So the sneak peek has dropped for Boruto chapter 9, and this isn't any regular sneak peek that doesn't show a lot. This sneak peek actually shows Boruto going to Kawaki, an event that nobody would have predicted would be happening in this chapter. With the threat of Jiraiya, who is approaching Himawari, we all believed that this chapter was going to be singly focusing on that aspect. But we see Kawaki and Boruto, who seem to be about to fight. And we have to break it down, because with just that one panel that we got, we can already start to predict various different aspects of this chapter. I know that the chapter can still be about Himawari and Jiraiya, and maybe that's probably what it is, but during some part of this chapter, we will be reverting to Boruto and Kawaki, as Boruto is fighting Kawaki, and we see Delta by Boruto's side. It is just her legs, but we can already determine two things. First of all, this Delta that we see right here has to be a lot stronger than the Delta that we saw in the past, because we have already seen two fights where they're going against opponents that are quite strong, and still Kawaki decides to go with Delta. I know that Delta has been around Kawaki all day, but for Kawaki to trust her 2 times, it means that Delta is a lot stronger than we might believe. Because in the first instance when they were going to go and find where Boruto was, Kawaki and Delta went together, and then we saw Kawaki actually have a plan for Delta to be the first one to make a move, then he would go and finish Boruto off. And we see Delta also go with Kawaki to go and fight Jiraiya, and yet again Boruto is back in the village, and then Kawaki goes with Delta to go and fight Boruto. So already we can tell that Delta is a lot stronger than we think, and she is one of the strongest characters in Konoha right now, alongside characters like Sarada, Mitsuki, because Kawaki doesn't go with Damien, who probably won't help Kawaki at all. He goes with Delta, and that must mean that Delta is kind of strong, or at least strong to the point where she would not hold Kawaki back. But that's not the most important part. We see Boruto dodge the rods quite easily in his base form, something that Naruto in his prime without Baryon mode couldn't really do, and it was quite hard for Sasuke to do the same while he had the Sharingan. Sasuke, even with his Sharingan, said that he couldn't really see where the rods were going. This lets us know that these rods are quite fast enough that even Sasuke can't see it, and we know that Sasuke has been able to see and perceive multiple different light speed moves all the way back to the first arc of Naruto. So this isn't any regular feat, especially since it is Kawaki with all 8 of the triangles, which means that this is as strong as this ability will ever get. So is this feat a lot crazier than the one that Damien and Naruto performed? To me at least, I wouldn't say that this feat is as crazy. I do believe that Naruto and Damien's feats were a lot better, and it's not for the same reason that a lot of people are pointing. A lot of people, especially on Twitter, are saying that Kawaki's rods do not move at the same speed as Ishiki. But this is incredibly hard to prove, and there is more evidence to prove that they should be, because Kawaki is literally using the same ability that Ishiki is. Ishiki, with all 8 triangles, was able to produce these rods that moved at incredible speeds. Kawaki, who has inherited his karma in the form of pure power and has all 8 triangles, it would then mean that the ability should be the same, and thus this idea that some people have so that they could put not only Kawaki down but Boruto down, these reasonings that people are giving are really not logical and can't really be proven, and thus this feat that Boruto performs lets us know that he would also be able to dodge Ishiki's rods, because they are tapping into that same power. They are tapping into Ishiki's power, so the speed should be the same. So if I believe the speed is the same, why do I not believe that this feat is as impressive as Damien or Naruto in Baryon mode? The reason why I say this is because Boruto simply dodged it. We have a feat from Boruto in this chapter where he dodges it quite easily and in base, not in his full potential while he is using the karma, but regardless of that, Boruto didn't grab it. Boruto just dodged it, and Naruto literally grabbed all 3 of the rods, while Boruto didn't do the same. So in my opinion, Naruto's feat is a lot more impressive, and Damien's feat is the same. Damien literally had one of the rods in his mouth, pause no homo, but for Damien to be able to not only react, but have the timing be so accurate that he is able to catch it in his mouth, that is truly an impressive feat for both ways you can look at it. If you know, you know. But in general, this really is another L for Kawaki. And I'm not going to be the person to tell you guys that Ishiki and Kawaki are on the exact same level, because it really is hard to prove, and that should be disappointing for Kawaki. I do understand that Kawaki isn't really the one to believe in the way that ninjas train, but he still was training back in the days, but with a different mindset. The way he would train with Jigen was simply for him to stay alive, and it doesn't seem like he has been doing the same in the time skip. Thus, everything that we see is happening to Kawaki. And to be 100% honest, I think that we're about to get a Sasuke versus Team 7 type of situation, where we had Sasuke who absolutely bodied a Team 7 that was going around looking for him, just like Kawaki is going around looking for Boruto, and Boruto is about to put them down. Boruto obviously won't kill them, but what we are currently seeing is a Boruto who is walking in a JoJo-like pose. We know that Kishimoto is a big fan of JoJo's, so we can see the inspiration, but he is literally walking and dodging these moves quite easily, which shows the gap in strength between Kawaki and Boruto, to a similar extent to Sasuke and Naruto. You just had to be there around the time that Naruto was that weak. A lot of people switched up on Naruto like we were seeing people do on Kawaki. Kawaki being weak right now is intentional, so I don't really find it as an issue. It will build up to the moment where he does end up receiving that power, and we're going to see a lot of people switch up. It's typical. But this actually taking place is kind of worrying, because it would then mean that what happened to Himawari? The next chapter was supposed to be about Himawari. So when exactly does this panel take place? Does this panel take place before Himawari and Jura have their confrontation, or does this happen after Himawari and Jura have their confrontation? And to me, Boruto wouldn't be going towards Kawaki. If Hima was about to fight Jura, he would run to go and protect his little sister. But he doesn't seem to do that. He goes to Kawaki. And that's why I believe that Boruto is going to Kawaki, because Himawari is in danger and is no longer in the village. And that's because Jura has kidnapped her. And that's why I believe that Boruto is going to go and fight Kawaki. Because he's like, yo, you took everything from me. It's cool. I don't really even see it as you taking everything from me. But the least you could do is be strong enough to protect my little sister. We both know that she has nothing to do with this. So Boruto's really like, damn, so you really are that weak and you're not going to be able to protect Hima? And he's going towards Kawaki. I don't know if he's going to ask Kawaki what happened to Hima or what exactly is happening, but it seems like Boruto isn't happy. Boruto is not smiling at all, and he's moving towards Kawaki elegantly. So I do believe that Himawari has been kidnapped by Jura, and that's why you have to watch this video right here, where I literally predict this taking place and explain why this makes perfect sense.